This is You Call That Radio. We're just about to go live. We've got Gavin Mitchell in the house tonight. If you can hear us, give us an eye. Give it a share as well. If you do give it a share, do this thing.
Strange mood of our time.
Brothers and sisters, may the peace that can only come from the one God.
Strange mood of our time.
You Call That Radio.
Makes coherent sense. Strange mood of our time.
You Call That Radio.
Makes coherent sense.
Good afternoon, troubadours. Can you hear me? New webcam. What do you think? Is it better? Is it worse? Who knows? But shouts to David for sorting this out. That's amazing. Thank you very much, David. I hope you're well. I've got a non-alcoholic beer. I'm getting it Saturday night. I'm absolutely buzzing to have Gavin Mitchell from Still Game and many other things in the house tonight. An honour. Shout outs to all our Patreon who have been the new guys. That's Mark, Leanne, Gordon, Alan, Claire, Danny, Cindy, Mary, Layla, Thomas, and Sandra. We're now at 110 patrons. You can support the show. We're here every night at 7 o'clock. You can support the show by going to patreon.com/You Call That Radio. And yeah, just a wee quick shout out for turning up last night. Not available online right now. Why or shaking in their boots, or there might have been a copyright violation. We're not quite yet. We'll find out. Hold on, take that away. You might have seen his way. You Call That Radio was in the newspaper because Piers Morgan called Loki a raging lunatic. So you just started getting pelters in the comments. So we some memes. And then we got misquoted in a newspaper. Imagine a newspaper. Yeah, mad. So coming up tomorrow, we have Mog. On Monday, we have Duncan Jr. On Tuesday, we have Kevin Goldie. Wednesday night, we have Bomb Scare and Joe Dark's new project for the after party. And Thursday will be an Iron Bars takeover. I hope yous are well. I hope yous are all dealing with the craziness and everyone's all right tonight. Are yous okay out there? Let us know in the comments. Let us know if you can hear us okay. We should go on Facebook. we should be on YouTube, and we should be on Twitch. And it's an absolute pleasure to bring on the main man himself. You can hear me?
Evening, sir.
Good evening, mate. Good to
How
see
you
you.
doing?
How's
Not
things?
bad. How's yourself? Oh, you're frozen on us.
Oh,
I'm watching you
Gavin.
here.
Oh, you're there, man. Just froze for a second.
You frozen me. I don't know what's happening because it's different time. I've got you in my iPad here and I've got you here and you're
Yeah.
slightly...
I'm not the only
ahead
person that came up with the idea of...
Oh, you're frozen again.
I'm not frozen, I don't think.
Oh, there you are. You're back now. I don't know what's happening here with me. Oh, you've gone again. Oh.
See, I'm just going to... And then just click the button and come back in.
All right, I can't hear you.
It's
very well.
probably the best way to do it, mate. Just hit the button. Yeah. Oh, here it is.
Oh. Hello. Hit what button?
So I'm hearing that it's my side that's glitching. So is my side glitching apparently, and your side's okay?
All right.
Gavin is okay. It's me who's glitching. Right.
Ah.
Okay, I'm going to try something. Gavin, you just
Do some magic tricks.
yeah, Gavin. Gavin, man the fort. And,
Well, you know,
camera.
a funny thing happened on the way here tonight. How you all doing? What you all up to? I'm surprised you're all in watching this. I thought, you know, Saturday night, everybody's gone mental, I don't know. What you doing this weekend? What room are you in? You having a walk about the house? Is your house big enough to have a walk about? Have you got a garden? You been out today? How long you been out? Yeah. Well, this is going well, isn't it? Just have to see what happens. Or it's just going to be me sitting here just talking nonsense. I'll have to get a book out and start reading to you shortly. So, how you all coping? How you all finding it? You up and doing like a bride's nighty? That's what I'm like. It's like streams, isn't it? You kind of got all kind of zen about it and strange kind of calm, and you think you're doing all right, and then the next thing you're like, we're all going to die. Well, I am anyway. But most of the time I'm fine. Thankfully, I've got wee Robert Mitchell with me to look after me, otherwise known as Bob the Dog. So we're coping, find our ways through this, don't we? You go daft. I hope you don't mind. I'm actually sitting here and I'm naked for the waist down. It is Saturday night after all. You know what I'm saying? Says more about than cash ever can. Oh, there we are. Oh, I can hear you. Mark's there. Well, I'm just talking rubbish. He's just left me to it.
all right, man.
Oh, you're back. Oh, you still got a funny wee noise there. Oh, you're frozen again. Don't know what's happening with you. Kind of slightly Dalek, kind of. Well, don't know what's happening. Here's me. Of all the people, the Luddite is the one that's all right. Can't quite believe it. I'm useless with technology. So as I was saying, what else can I say to you? I mean, I know you're probably sick about hearing about pandemic and coronavirus and all that, aren't we all? But you can't deny it either, can you? I mean, you've sort of got to escape, but you don't want to live in denial. But then you've got to watch what you watch, or it would just put you into a big spiral of panic and depression or whatever. So personally, You know, I've kind of, it's hard, isn't it? You kind of give up, or I find you want to give up the bulletins quite a lot, the press bulletins, because what are they actually telling you? You know, they seem more like part of political broadcasts than actual information. You know, or it's a big long list of thanks. And don't get me wrong, of course, people should be thanked, especially the NHS, right down to dustbin men, shelf stackers, etc. But they don't actually give you information, or it's contradictory, confusing information. You know, and if the government can't be consistent, how are we meant to be consistent? You know what I'm saying? Pardon me. And a lot of people say, well, it's not about politics or political point scoring. It's unhelpful to criticise the Tories at the moment. I disagree with that, because I think it's know who your enemy is. And some people say, you know, that, well, we knew about this for a couple of months and they should have been on this. Well, if you want, I'll try and post it on Mark's page as well. It's a fantastic interview with the veteran journalist and documentary filmmaker, John Pilger, where he gives a great interview. It's about 20 minutes, but it's a great watch. And some of the stuff he reveals is phenomenal. And it ain't conspiracy theory nonsense by any manner. I mean, it's actual proof, you know, that through all this, and well before the NHS has been sold off for under our noses. And in 2016, there was a dry run for a pandemic. And they did all sorts, you know, and what they found was that we were sorely, sadly lacking in the things that are meant to be a surprise now. Ventilators, that the NHS would be overrun, mainly down to Tory cuts. You know, although Labour don't get off scot-free there either. But so they've known this for 4 years and they did nothing about it. And that's a travesty. That really is. And when this is all over, which it will be, there's been various things through history like this. It's nothing new. It's just freaky to our generation, or generations, sorry, said the old fella. I just think it's really important that we hold these people accountable and don't let them off the hook, and that they take responsibility, because this is criminal as far as I'm concerned. They do have blood in their hands, and it's unforgivable. But anyway, that was nice and light start to things, wasn't it? I don't know where else. See, before I sat down, I had a wee record player here as well. I could have played you a tune. But it's back up my shelf. See my shelf? Well, I'll show you some of my toys, my shelf, while we're waiting on Mark. See if Mark comes back. Would you like to see some toys? Would you? Okay, then. Let's see. This is one of my favourites. Oh, look at this. This is Jimmy the Acrobat. Check him out. Woohoo! There you go. Oh, Jimmy. Hey. There you are there. There's the bull Jimbo. It's quite phenomenal, isn't he? What a mover. Quite old, but still can, yeah, he can still do business. What else we got? Absolute nonsense. Jings. Anyway, I don't know. I can't, as I say, I'm a bit of a Luddite, so I can't quite see how everything's working here. My iPad is behind my phone, and I'm talking to you on my phone, but looking at my iPad, which is quite odd. So I don't know if anybody's online, if I'm still online, if you're asking questions or not. You're more than welcome to fire away and ask things, and I'll try and answer them while we wait on Mark coming back. I don't quite know. Let me see if I can get up on this Facebook page. Let me see. I don't know how to. Yeah, I don't know how to see the comments particularly. Is that it? Where are they? Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
I'm back.
Oh, this looks like Mark's coming back. He's back. Yay!
Sorry about that, man. I don't know. I think that we broke the internet, mate. I don't think the internet was ready for a Gavin Mitchell interview in Saturday night prime time. Is that okay?
I had my Boaby out and everything while you were away there. They all get a bit Pornhub.
Aye, mate. Thanks for doing this. Sorry, but I don't know. No idea. Right. I just changed the browser and it was all right. It seems to be all right now. But yeah, thanks for doing this, man. So what you been doing with yourself? I take it you're not working?
Hey, oh God, no. That's all over and done with. Weeks ago, just at the start of all this carry on, it was like, yeah, the first job went, a wee short film, and then it was like dominoes, like everybody else. Everyone just went, brrrt, gone.
So what were you working on?
I was meant to be doing a wee short film on Millport, of all places, one of my favourite places that I go to quite often. It was just a wee short film that was quite nice. That was meant to be filming, the start of this month, end of last month, start of this month. So they said quite early, and then within a kind of week, all various other things that were coming up just disappeared, theatre, etc. And who knows, everybody, when and if these things will come back. I don't personally see people rushing to theatres anytime soon, you know what I mean? So, who knows? It's all up there just now, not how much this is going to affect our lives in the future. I mean, we'll get there, of course, it will pass. It's just when and how. I was given a bit of a lecture when you were off air. I don't know if you heard this.
No, I couldn't hear you. No.
I had a wee bit of a rant already about the coronavirus and the Tories, etc. And
that's fine, mate. Well, we've had a few rants, and I think just the lack of preparation from. I mean, it's weird that people are spending a lot of time going on to really deep into conspiracy theories when the one right in front of my face is like the Tories just told everyone to go to Cheltenham and shake everyone's hand. They've not got they've underfunded the NHS. We are not prepared for this. We're putting our frontline workers at risk. We're putting everyone who needs hospital at risk. And you don't need, it seems to be, why are we talking about Bill Gates and his,
I don't get it. I don't have time for it. I had a couple of yee-haws on Twitter that I just couldn't believe it. Apart from anything else, they were really insensitive because I've lost a couple of people. But talking about how coronavirus, it's no real.
Two seconds, Gavin. Can you just pause you opened a Facebook page and I think that there's a delay playing on the screen. Did you maybe open up another page? If you could just mute it.
Hold on a wee second. I'll get rid of Facebook. Why don't I do that? How do I?
Just get rid of it, man. We'll bring the comments on the screen. Sorry, man. Continue. It was just because there was a wee bit of delay coming in.
Not just somebody that came on, just basically saying it's a lot of rubbish. It's a hoax. Coronavirus. It's a common cold, and it's the vaccine that you get. That's what's killing people. It's a whole conspiracy. It's an economic conspiracy, and you're just like, oh man, away and have a word to yourself. Do you know what I mean?
The main problem I've got with that is the same people that are saying it's completely fake are also the same people that are saying it's 5G and it's really dangerous. So it's quite really hard because I like a conspiracy, man. I'm totally open-minded to stuff. I like it. I try and that could be. But when there's no train of thought, because it jumps from it's really dangerous because it's 5G to it's fake. It doesn't exist. People are dying. Pictures of empty hospitals.
Stuff, but when some things just get a wee bit kind of completely out there.
Because if you're open-minded,
the thing I hate about this as well is it keeps up a whole subterfuge of what the real problem is. So all the while when people are going, oh, it's this or it's that or it's, and freaking out about stuff, it keeps the attention and eye off the real enemy and the real problem, which is the government and is the Tories. And there's a brilliant thing I was saying earlier that just about a day or so ago, I put it up on my Facebook. I'll put it up in your page if you want, and people should check it out. Is the veteran journalist and documentary filmmaker John Pilger being interviewed, and it's about a 20-minute interview, but well worth watching. And it's not a conspiracy theory then, it's facts, and it's fantastic. And one of the things was that in 2016 that there was a whole dry run for how Britain and London in particular would cope if a pandemic happened, and it showed all the shortfalls and all the holes and all the gaps that there were, and the huge answer was, without a shadow of a doubt, that it wouldn't and it couldn't. It wasn't ready for it. And they sat on the results. They were never made public. But they knew about no ventilators. They knew the NHS would be overrun. And part of the reason, of course, being that there had been systematic cuts going on for some years, not just by Tories either, but by Labour as well. But they've known all this. So when people even turn around and say, oh, well, they knew for a couple of months they were a bit slow and that's what's, caused us to have these huge figures. No, actually, they knew for 4 years. For 4 years, and they did nothing and watched this come. And so that's why, as much as people are sick about talking about coronavirus or hearing about it and all that, and there's this strange extreme in yin and yang between wanting to deny because it's just horrible to look at all the time and you can't live like that and you've got to survive in your daily life. But we can't we can't deny the reality and who's responsible for it, and that we must hold them accountable and responsible. And with this is all over, and it will be, that these buggers should not be forgiven or forgotten, because this is a crime, and it is a criminal. It's criminal what they're doing. It's blood in their hand.
It's almost like there's so much blood on the hands that it's hard for people to get their head around it.
Yeah,
I mean, if
and I think that's the problem.
you're talking about football stadiums worth of people already.
Things. People don't want to face reality, which is totally understandable, because it's mind-blowing, the figures and numbers, and we were so unprepared, myself included. I was still sort of, before that quick sort of turnaround, I was going out or shaking people's hand or hugging people and kind of poo-pooing it a bit. And then suddenly it was like, oh, oh my God, whoa, we're not going to die. And now I think that's why people are still going out. Hopefully not so much anymore, but I think there's a huge, so I don't want to know, denial. And that and conflicting, confusing, contradictory information. When you watch the press briefings, which I hardly watch anymore because they're just stultifyingly boring and they don't tell you anything. It's Tories standing up with a party political broadcast telling you how brilliant they are and what they've achieved. And then they then go on to make a huge list of thanks every day. And don't get me wrong, of course people should be thanked, but not by the Tories. The irony, thanking people that you're destroying their workplaces, like the NHS, shelf stackers, bin men, etc. Of course, but it's to cover up that they know they fucked up, in this constant long stream of, and we'd like to thank today, we must thank, and it's so boring. It's like Mogadon listening to them. And you think, no, fuck that. Cut to the chase, tell us the facts, don't pussyfoot about it, and tell us what you are prepared to do, what you're doing, and what we're meant to do about it. Even the information about whether we stand with it. We think, if you want to go out for things, kind of do that. It's so mincy. It's ridiculous. And how can you expect your population, if you can't be consistent in your information, you can't ask people to be consistent in their behaviour.
Yeah. And also,
but what we're finding now is that the spin, which was inevitable, they're now spinning it round, and they're going to blame us, as they are now, as Rab did yesterday and started blaming the NHS. That the reason that protection gear isn't there is because they're using it too much, or they're using it too quickly.
But it was just literally, unless everyone has short memories, it was literally a week ago or 2 weeks ago. Went, oh no, it's coming. We're ordered it. It's on its way. This gear is. Oh, it's just because we didn't know about it. It is definitely coming, and it's not.
But aren't some of those excuses amazing, aren't they? What was the other ones? There was something. All this shit that's starting to come out now about stuff they didn't do or didn't order, and then when they're getting pulled up about it, they go, "Oh God, I missed the email."
Well,
it must have went in my. It must have went in my junk box. What
was that? You're like, wait a minute. I actually remember you, pal, 2 weeks ago saying we'll just take it on the chin. I'm shaking everyone's hands. It's like this whole. We didn't have enough time. It's like, no, literally 2 weeks ago, when we could have just stopped things doing, it was the Cheltenham Festival went on, loads of stadium gigs went on, and so obviously,
because ultimately it's about economy. Ultimately, it's about money. No matter what this disease, what it proves and shows, again, it's about class, and it's about the have-nots and the haves, and those who have. Will benefit out of this, and there are people benefiting and making a shitload of money out of this while it's all happening. And the whole reason that the whole herd mentality, which they then changed their point of view about 2 weeks in, that's not quite working. In fact, a lot of people are going to that. Let's completely spin that in his head now. Unbelievable bullshit. And as I say, not forgetting, they knew for 4 years what they were lacking in and what was needed, and they did nothing and have done nothing about it. So to make excuses about emails, there is no excuse. They knew about ventilators, they knew about equipment, they knew everything. And the irony is that they're still, while this is happening, because it's taking up all the news all the time, the stuff that's going on underneath the radar constantly, but they're still selling off the NHS while this is happening. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, and it goes back to the sort of systematic flaws of trying to cost cut. So it's like there is for things like the NHS. If you've if you need that, if the NHS is short of money, how can they be in debt? It's surely that we've just underestimated how much money we need for the NHS. And
well, again, if there's other things that have come out of this as well, I think it's like that. What a nonsense money is. I mean, sadly, I think we'll probably just go back to what we were. But it's made an absolute mockery of capitalism and money. When you think of, apart from even a pandemic, you think of what, 100,000, maybe more, as John Pilger says, people have died just through austerity. And, when you start looking at those kind of figures, it's insane. And you think, well, there's no money. We all have to put our nose to the grindstone, pull together, and we're all in it together, etc., etc. Suddenly, the shit hits the fan. There's money. Money can appear. Money can be made. There was even talk at one point of clean money, brand new clean money being made and being sent out to people so that people didn't pass on coronavirus through money and stuff like that. So it's made a mockery. Money can be that suddenly billions, trillions. Money just appears. So money can happen. It's all controlled to make power. It's an absolute nonsense. And I think, if anything, a lot of this, it's the Wizard of Oz. We've seen behind the big curtain now how some of this works, and we shouldn't be stupid enough to swallow it when it gets back to reality.
It's crazy the amount of abuse that Corbyn got for his manifesto would have spent a fraction of what's getting spent here. So this magic money tree thing.
Aye. Well, isn't that ironic as well? Remember with Theresa May, it was only a matter of months ago. So we don't have the magic money tree.
Yeah.
Suddenly, oh yes, we do.
Because normally what works in austerity, because it is ideological, it costs more money to put. There's so many people, for Atos just had a rebrand, or a new company came in, but there's these. It costs more money for these appeal court fees and all the shit that goes through it, all the hassle to make this happen. It doesn't save money, but it just ties in with the ideological view of let's find a fall guy, let's pick on the job seekers, let's pick on the poor, let's pick on the vulnerable.
Exactly. It's the same problem with the banks, wasn't it? It's the same argument. Why did the banks collapse and all that? Well, it's that guy next door, the Polish guy.
I think Frankie Boyle does a good bit about that. It was the bankers.
Right.
We've seen it on the news.
That's right. Your granny watching Columbo on it. Is that one?
I think it might have been the refugees.
You saw who the killer was. No, exactly. But no, it's find the P. It's keeping it moving about all the time, and that's what's going to happen with us. Ultimately, the finger will be pointed at us. That we didn't, didn't follow the rules, or NHS are using up materials willy-nilly to prevent themselves from dying.
It's a risky game though this time. It's a risky game this time because a large majority, or not majority, but a large percentage of the middle class are now signing on for the first time, and they're now having to deal with the patronising system that's so hard to navigate. Already they've increased universal credit costs because they know that this is a shitstorm. These are people that are unemployed that are actually going to write letters of complaint. This is so. Hopefully, people don't have short memories and think, "Oh, that would never happen to me." They think, "Oh, someone's unemployed. They're just lazy." It's like,
I mean, I don't know how. It's so hard to get your head around how it's going to, in the long term, how we're going to come out of this and what it's going to affect. But I certainly would hope not. I mean, the writing's on the wall for who the bastards are. I mean, your Bransons and your Witherspoon's wanker.
Fucking Tim Witherspoon, man, he's definitely up there this time.
And you think, not that I was ever tempted, but when you're kind of going, that cheap pint or that cheap bit of food, you just don't go into.
Yeah, man, I can't. I think it's the
boycotted now.
I've always hated Wetherspoons because I know that they shut down businesses, but I've been guilty of just going in for that cheap pint when you're waiting on a train. But I think this is the point where I've got to go, can I justify this? I can just go without a pint rather than doing this anymore. Because I think that this is a tipping point. If everybody just did that for a month, get these cunts to fuck, man.
Well, exactly. It's like somebody said to me, I said that on social media, and somebody said, "Hey, I don't think that's very fair. At the end of the day, you're punishing the employees and you're taking away people's jobs if you do that. The only person that's really feeling," and you're like, "No, that's bullshit." Because those employees were sacked and they've been booted at the door and they work under ridiculous conditions. And the long term, what you do by boycotting something is you are boycotting for better conditions. There are good employers out there. There are good conditions out there. That's what you're doing. Otherwise, you're supporting it and keeping it alive, and you're part of the problem, not part of the solution. So all we can do is withdraw for these kind of things and use people power. Which is something that has been, again, systematically eroded for, 30, if not more years since Thatcher was disenfranchising people and collectivism of people. And we have to learn that again. Socialism became a dirty word. Politics was a dirty word. People coming together to picket or have a cause and effect, or lock-ins, or things where people realising that we can have a cause and effect. We can take over things. You can stop things happening. So what do you do about it? What do you do about it? Go in a demo, or I don't know what you do. Sit and hit a fucking like button, or just sign countless things on social media and all agree with each other. I know. So do I. Right, wait my bed. That's me. Like 20 of them.
The optimism is like, people aren't going to forget this time. You can't blame it on the unemployed, because middle class people are unemployed as well. So, but then the negative side, the pessimist in me is like, Boris Johnson's ratings are doing quite well, especially in England. Do you think he's dealing with it well?
Yeah, aye, no, absolutely. And also that disgusting, you see the headline yesterday in the Sun. That was unbelievable. And it's a big picture of him, and it was something like he's recovering, or he's doing well, he's walking now, or something like that. It really is a Good Friday.
Oh, God.
And you're like, man, no, I don't wish the guy any personal... I don't want to see him die, unless he's in front of me and I can get my hands on him. But no, I don't wish that in anybody. Of course not. That's crazy. You're lowering yourself to their level. But what disgusts me, the Sun anyway, but for them to do that on a day and a week where 5,000 people died, and you're going on about, hurrah, Good Friday, Boris can walk.
What would the Sun have said if Jeremy Corbyn was in charge of this crisis?
Oh, God. Good question. I don't know. Isn't that interesting as well? It's kind of, none of the media are particularly giving anybody a hard time about this. They should be on people.
Yeah, even some people that are normally quite good. It seems like the Boris being ill thing just made them take their foot off the pedal and didn't want to attack him because he's not well.
I mean, Emily Maitlis did that wee thing in Newsnight the other night, wee intro. Pardon me, question about attitudes and language that are being used about fighting spirit and things like that. And yeah, people went crazy about this, amazing, this and that. And it was good. It was good. But it's not that earth-shattering. What happened to journalism? What happened to people being questioned? And then if somebody does give somebody a slightly hard time, and I can't believe Piers Morgan, people are starting to agree with somebody. Piers Morgan's coming out with stuff questioning them.
Well, I was in the papers this week because he called Loki a raging lunatic.
I saw that, aye.
And we
did apologise, though.
I know. I think he tried to take a wee cheap shot. I think he shot it. He got a lot of pelters from Scotland and beyond. And also, he was trying to sort of play him down because of his accent, but the pelters were just coming in and going, he's an Orwell Prize winner. Where's your Orwell Prize? And I think Morgan did the right thing by just getting out of that one, because Loki's a battle rapper. You don't. Yeah. It's not a beef that and Piers Morgan's really unpopular as well. So
it's talking about, he's an amazing guy. He's he can back up what he's saying.
Yeah.
To underestimate him and think, oh, what's that jock accent?
It's like Piers Morgan. Do you realise how many people don't understand you? They might understand your accent, but nobody understands. Lots of people don't understand where you're coming from.
But again, there you have the hypocrisy of the media, wasn't it? I mean, he blocked me after one tweet because it was when Caroline Flack died. I can't remember my exact words. It was something like Caroline Flack died, and it was the night she died that taken her own life. And it was within an hour or so. It was very fast. And the next thing there was Piers Morgan on going, this is heartbreaking. I'm so sad. I knew she found things difficult. She said to me, you know, blah, 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 blah. And I just thought, this ain't fucking about you, you know. And I can't remember exactly what I said, but I basically went on and I said, you know, is that right? Because you're a complete hypocrite, but we're meant to believe. I can't remember what it was, because he'd questioned people with mental health. There's old tweets where he talked about basically it's a nonsense. You know, pull your socks up and you know, get on with it. And it's a joke. Any kind of mental health, it's an excuse.
And also the tabloid scandals he's been involved in, where all they cared about was a headline, whether that meant bugging people.
Exactly, and that's what I ended up. I think it was quite good at the time. I just can't remember it, but it was quite a succinct tweet, and I couldn't help but finish off with, you know, because he'd had a go at the Sun or something. He had a go at somebody, and I said, that's a bit. The irony is extraordinary here. You know, when you're somebody who will tap dead children's phones. Yeah. You know, I was blocked. Surprise.
And that's not even an alleged thing. That's a real thing that he did in Search for Headlines. So it's quite hard to take his be kind stuff seriously. And
nonsense. These people spout, and that whole show's like a pantomime, isn't it? Him and her playing against each other, big bad peers.
You know, actually, that's probably why the show started fucking up with technical problems at the beginning, because I had a wee dig at BBC because they had some technical issues. So I went, dear BBC, if you want to know how to do a live stream with Loki, I did an interview last week with him, and then the powers that be went, take him out. So I deserve that.
Outside your door, mate.
I deserve it. Fuck it.
I'm just watching, see if I see a wee red dot appear on
you. We've got loads of comments coming in. Do you want to do some comments, Gavin? See what people say. Okay, let's see what we got.
Unfortunately,
I'll bring it on the screen, mate, and we'll see.
Get my specs on the old fella here.
All right. Okay, we got Raymond Dito. Sorry, I'm late. In days. In the recipient of an amazing act of kindness that has blown me away. Good stuff. Good to hear a positive story.
It depends what that. I don't know. With my filthy mind there.
I'm trying to stay calm. Rees Mogg is profiting from this. See, this is a thing that I think is quite important, is that I think that people disagree on and get caught up on, especially at the conspiracy theory level, is there is no doubt the people like Rees Mogg, I mean, his dad wrote a book in Disaster Capitalism, which is when the economy's fucked, you go in and you buy everything low and you sell it high when it recovers. Now, there is a bit of a difference between these. I mean, the absolutely shameless behaviour to do that. But it doesn't mean that Rees Mogg created the coronavirus with all the world government and also getting all the scientists and doctors in the world to go along with it just so he could get a couple of cheap houses.
Aye, yeah.
But he is definitely profiteering on it. There is right. As soon as there's a crisis, people are going to capitalise on it. And these another thing is that the rights that have been taken away, I've not had a chance to go through all of them, but I'd imagine there's some new powers that they don't need that has nothing to do with coronavirus, and they will take advantage of that. And it's up for people to complain about that and fight back. Once this is over, then get those rights back and make sure, keep an eye on it. But you know, so it's like you can be worried about your rights getting taken away, but it doesn't mean that.
Yeah, well, that's kind of what I was saying earlier. You know, it's just that what the worry is what is going on under the radar while all this is happening. It's a perfect time for them. There's probably so much going on we don't have a clue about that they're punting through and trying and getting away with. You know what I mean? And that's not a conspiracy theory. That's
just facts.
That's experience. We know that from experience when there's been slow news days or various things, or get a big news story out there, and while they're doing that, they're going, fuck, like all human rights, fuck yeah. You know,
I mean, we don't. Yeah.
They're monkeys. They're monkeys, man.
Cheeky monkeys.
Cheeky monkeys. They're rascals.
But I think that's a good point as well. I mean, in general, there's so much stuff we don't know, but there's also so much stuff the powers that be don't know as well. And what surprises it to me is that so many people who, it's totally correct to question mainstream media. I don't trust politicians or anything, but you've also, don't put your faith in some random YouTube blogger who's taking a picture of an empty hospital and saying all hospitals are empty.
Yeah. I can off at a slight tangent, but it was really funny. I went to see Gillian Cope a few weeks ago. You know, Gillian Cope's pretty out there. And very funny and all that, you know, and likes his conspiracies and madness himself and has lived quite a life. So I go to the God, that's terrible, brain, Engage, the venue over the
St. Luke's.
And so great night, no, but horrible windy weather. Come out with my pals, and I'm like, right, I'll see you later, going to go up the road. And they're like, you get a cab? And I'm like, I'm just going to listen to my headphones, whatever. Anyway, I'm like, bugger it, cab. Jump in this cab, and I say to the driver, I'm like, oofed, you know, what a night, eh? And he's like, aye. And I said, and some people say that global warming doesn't exist. And he turns and he goes, aye, that's because of Disney. Right? I'm like, what? He said, that's because, what was it now? He just launched into this kind of, they make, you know, £6 billion a year goes to such and such. So, oh no, that's what it was, goes to New Order. What? Fucking hell, what are New Order up to? Just doing a new album? I'm like, what are you talking about? I kid you not, it was one of the most mental experiences I've ever had. And I've met a lot of mental people and been in a lot of mental situations. And this guy blew my mind. And at the time it took me to get for the centre of town home, he was a flat earther. He was into all sorts. And I said, actually, I thought, I don't want to know where I live. I mean, people say take a black cab because it's safe. This was a black cab. And I said, just drop me off at a Tesco, actually. I was in his cab for 40 minutes. And I kid you not, I was sitting there going, I was that way. I was like, I've got to remember this. I've got to remember this. I've got to retain this. And then he would say something even fucking wilder. And it would just go, boo, out my head. I was like, oh. I wish somebody else was here. How am I going to remember that? Nobody's going to believe me. Nobody's going to fucking believe me. And so I slowly, surreptitiously brought my phone out and started recording. And I've got about 20 minutes in it. And it's the maddest shit, you know, and he's talking about, it get crazier and crazier, but there was stuff about the earth being flat, surrounded by an ice wall.
We actually have a flat earth community who sometimes watch these videos, and they will probably appear in the comments roundabout now. They will now that you've brought it up, so that will now cause a bit of they'll say something and people will argue with them. Yeah, usually there's a wee argument in the comments on You Call That Radio about this, and yeah. I found it quite weird as well. Is it that this?
Because apparently his theory was also that's why Trump, because he flies around a lot and all, he's seen it. Trump knows the earth is flat. Yeah,
Trump's going to save the day.
He's been sent. It's divine. He's been sent to save the world. He's a good guy, and also there's no gravity. What it is, there's a metal pyramid inside the earth which exerts a force, apparently. But Trump, because he flies around a lot, he looks down, he's seen the earth is flat. And so that's why we're having a space patrol now. And it's to stop people getting so high that they can see down and say the earth is flat. That's what it's really about. What? Honestly, I came out, my head was bust. I walked into my local pub and was like, give me a pint. Oh, you all right? And I you should be freaked out at Gillian Cope. Suddenly, Gillian Cope was the most conservative, dull guy I've ever seen. I mean, it's like I'd been in a car crash. It
does seem that a lot of these theories do come from a Christian, right-leaning Christian, and that's where the flat earth stuff comes from. So I think, and it's always quite confusing to me because I've got friends who are lovely people. They do lots, just work with charities. They're just really good people. Stoner, hippie types, atheists, but believe in the universe and spirituality. But they go down the 5G rabbit hole. And I've seen recently one of them has been defending that this whole thing's a conspiracy to take Trump down. Like it's trying to make Trump look bad so that he'll lose the election.
Sorry, my wee dog's just appeared.
All right, let's get Doug. Hold on.
Bob,
let's get Bob. We get to...
Come here a minute,
Soapy
pal.
was wanting to see Bob the Dog. I've got the.
Come here. Bob.
I'll wait till the banner comes.
I'll be back in a sec, sorry.
No worries, man. Yeah, you're tuned into, you call that radio, television, or you call that video, or some people call it the YCTV quarantine stream. And we do this every night at 7 o'clock. We are here every night at 7. And if you're enjoying the show, you can support the show at patreon.com/you call that radio. And it's $3 a month. It's about £2.50. If you want to help us build this thing, because we're building a thing, it's getting better. Sorry about the technical itches at the start, but we're trying to build a thing and keep everyone connected over these strange times. I think that Bob the Dog is in the house. Oh, yes.
It is. Hey.
Hold on. Get his wee banner up.
Bob the Dog. There you are, Bob. Hey.
Bob's a cracker. Bob is a cracker. I've seen some. You've got some amazing pictures from Millport with Bob the Dog jumping about.
Oh yeah, that's Lindsay, my girlfriend's taking lots of brilliant pictures of him. But I saw you were on telly last night as well, Bob, and you've made quite a name for yourself. You're such a smug wee
First
bugger.
time he's had his own tag on the screen though.
I know. Look at that. That's I wish I could get that as a screen.
Get him added on Instagram and Twitter.
Look at that. How you doing, Mark? No bad. No, it's actually, you don't speak like that, do you? Because you're Spanish, Bob. Are you Spanish, Bob? They're going to be Spanish, rescue. Yeah.
So Bob, let's see if Bob wants to take any of these questions. Where do they get the money, Bob? But yeah, it's Dan Purvis says, I'll just read a few comments. I'll read about 3 or 4 comments out and then I'll let you respond, Gavin, all right? Okay. So Dan Purvis says, where do they get the money? Last year folk were sleeping in corridors at hospitals. Now we can build hospitals at the exhibition centre. Sharon says media is ruled by rich motherfuckers. Dancing Lizard says we are literally paying taxes to kill the disabled, poor and vulnerable. Duncan 1968 says 13.4 billion written off NHS trust by government makes it an attractive business now to be sold off without any debt. Now there's a conspiracy theory I hadn't thought of that I could get behind.
What's that, Mark? Sorry.
So 13.4 billion was written off the NHS trust by government makes it an attractive business now to be sold off without any debt. I hadn't even thought of that till I just read that.
No, I hadn't considered that actually.
And we've got Carol Ann Cunningham says Gav for government. I say, I think it'd be good, man. Would you consider it?
Well, it's a poison chalice, that, isn't it?
That is.
I did a wee bit in 2015. You know, I went door to door with SNP. You know, and I still get some stick for that. You know, you're a nat and all that, and you'll get people can attack us on Twitter and stuff. But you know, I've always made it kind of clear that I am kind of SNP, but it's a means to an end. You know, which I think SNP is anyway, because if which is only a question of time, if and when we get independence, then it's served its purpose. Yeah. You know, and then for there on in, it's an open kind of stage for whatever party, you know. But I see SNP as a means to an end. It makes sense, you know. But I know you're a Scottish national. You're a nationalist. You're that, you know. It's how the fascists started.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah. Well, it's just a case of I don't think
they spoke to me about being more involved with that, and I was like, you know, I don't know. I think it is a bit of a poison chalice and kind of.
What is it? What's the Billy Connolly?
And the red tape and everything. That's kind of.
What's the Billy Connolly joke about that? The fact that you should want to be a politician should ban you from ever being a politician.
I refuse to be or the Groucho Marx line, isn't it? Like, I refuse to be a member of any club that will have me as a
member. Lorraine McCluskey's boycotted Weatherspoons. Yes, indeed. Fuck them. J. Coleman, get these cunts to fuck. Eloquent. Yeah, that would. I think sometimes you can just say nothing says fuck with the word fuck. Sometimes, you know what I mean.
Conley as well says it himself. So nothing says about. We say it so. Fuck you. Fuck them.
Green says at 7 o'clock every Monday we should stand out our doors and shout wankers for all the Tories and people who voted them.
Well, I was like, what was it? Somebody said to me last night. It was like, no, never mind clap for Boris. It was shat for Boris. And I thought, I've shot for Boris. Just every Tuesday, go out and just have a keech right in the street for Boris. Like, there you go, have that.
Dan Purvis says, was he ill? I got shot down for do you know what? Like I said, I've been slagging a lot of the fake news conspiracy theories, but I think that they've told this government's told so many lies that you can't assume that he definitely was ill. You know, it could have been a PR stunt. It could have just been an excuse to have a week off. I don't know.
Them the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, yeah.
Nah, I don't want to start that, but I must admit I'd be a liar if I said it hasn't crossed my mind.
Yeah,
of course,
you can't be 100% convinced.
Very convenient, and you know, I made bad tasteless jokes about it and all that. I was like, yeah, he'll probably hide in a fridge in the morgue because that's his style. But yeah, you can't help but be suspicious, you know. Other people have joked that he'll probably come out tomorrow because he will rise on Easter Sunday, and be the conquering hero.
He's not the
he's
not the saviour. He's a very naughty boy,
etc. You know, fair fucks to him. You know, obviously don't wish it on anybody, but doesn't that speak volumes in itself that you have that much mistrust now? Absolutely.
And I'm not saying, like I said, I'm not saying that he is faking it. I just don't know enough about it. I don't have enough context. I didn't see him talking. I couldn't tell. I don't have enough information. And I'm not saying at all that he's definitely made it up. I'm just saying that, would I 100% trust that it seems to have helped him in the ratings? It's just, and I don't know. I think it doesn't really matter. It's beside the point.
I think that is the main point, though, that I do think that it just speaks volumes now that even so many people would suggest that, you know, that there would have been a time you would go, you're off your head.
And it's interesting at the same time, the fact that Donald Trump,
I don't trust them. I don't know. They would do anything. You know,
it's funny.
They would fake their own potential death or illness.
And see the fact that Donald Trump said that he didn't have the virus, and that made me suspicious that he did. So the exact opposite. Because we live in opposite world.
Both he did anyway. The fucking balloon. Do you know what I mean? He's unbelievable.
Dave McGowan says,
and if he did, he would probably be really proud of it. I just want to say it's a great virus. It's a great virus.
It's a beautiful virus.
It's beautiful. I've had the virus. I've had the virus bigger and more beautiful than everybody else. It's a great virus. Do all that.
David McGowan just echoing your sentiments about John Pilger.
Oh yeah, it's brilliant. I really urge people to watch it. It's sobering. And it's quite depressing, but sadly, I think some of these things we have to watch. You know, I like I said, it's this bizarre balance of, you know, I think everybody feels the same at the moment. There's a kind of, you feel manic at times and kind of up and down like a bright nighty, you know, and then you take huge lows. It's just the nature of this, because it's so huge to comprehend and take in. So I think our nature is to run away from it and deny it to a degree.
I mean, I think that's what I've been doing in the show, man. Like sometimes I've been on this show. Sometimes there'll be barely any chat about it at all because we're just like sometimes we're just like, let's just have a laugh.
I didn't intend to go this way.
No, it's all right, mate. It's okay, mate. No, it's all good. I'm in the mood for it. I'm in the mood for it, mate. And it's just.
It was going to be like, what was your favourite episode? Right. So
what's the most? Right, okay, let's actually do that a minute. What is your what is the most common question you get? And I'll just ask that.
The most common? Oh God, I don't know if that. Oh, it's just generally things like, is that a right laugh?
Okay, hold on. I need the full screen for this. So, Gavin, is it a right laugh?
Fuck off. It's that, or just God knows how many days somebody calls me a prick. Yeah.
Oh, I would like to. What I mean, so is there definitely no more Still Game? That's probably the question as well. Is Still Game coming back? And is it definitely not?
I suppose that is the big question at the moment. Lots of people go, is your coach? That's not it, is it? That's not it. Can't it be it? But no, that's that. I mean, if anybody saw the live show, it was pretty clear. I mean, who knows? Never say never. But as far as I know, I mean, it was pretty clear.
Without giving it too many spoiler alerts away for the last show, but it could, if it was to come back, it would certainly be, it certainly go a bit of a different way, like a kind of jumping the shark a bit.
I mean, I think most people have seen it now. It'd be very weird if there's people not seen the last episode. But yeah, it's it's pretty much the end. There's ways out of that and ways around that. It's quite clever, but particularly if you saw the stage show, and the stage show made it very clear there was no coming back.
You've got the Sunset Beach thing though. The Sunset Beach way is.
We did joke about that.
Like just like maybe just he comes back, a bit of seaweed in his head, and it was all a dream. It's like I thought you were dead. No, I've got seaweed in my head. Ah, right.
No, we did joke about that, but it's done, and also I think it's right that it's done. If I'm honest, I mean, I think it was right and brave of the boys to do what they did. We could have went on and on and on and turned into the Scottish last of the summer wine until we really were that age and doing it. I think it's better to leave people wanting more and leave it at a good time and a good kind of level, and with respect for it, rather than run it into the ground,
I mean, it was obviously I grew up with Still Game, massive fan of it, and I was just really surprised though.
You grew up with it, son.
I wasn't that young. Don't worry, I wasn't that young.
I hear you, man. Boy said he grew up with it, Bo. Grew up with the show, the boy. God love him. Thank you very much, son. You there? You there? Hello? You still there? Oh, Christ, that'll be the corona.
But aye, man, it was the fact though, I can't believe how successful and how many tickets were sold for those live shows, man. I mean, genuinely, I mean, how many people have been seeing these shows since you started doing the big live shows?
The live ones. Well, oh gosh, I can't remember. I mean, it's insane. It was insane. I mean, all in all, we've played the Hydro 51 times. And to like 10, 11,000 people a show. The first time, because we were only meant to do it 4 times. And I remember when we did the press conference and stuff, and me and Paul that plays Winston were going for a pint, and we were chatting about it, and I was like, God, how do you think this is going to go, Paul?
It was a risky one.
Oh, I think so. I mean, my agent phoned me up. My old agent, nowhere now. After our carry on, but she phoned me up and said, Gavin, they're talking about doing this show at the Hydro. And, I mean, do you think it's possible? Do you think? And I was like, well, I reckon we can do our show. I don't want to sound arrogant, but I reckon, I think we can fill it. Then when it was 4, I was like, because Rod Stewart didn't fill 4, I think Beyonce didn't fill 4, I'm like, I think we've overstepped the mark here. And Paul went, really? I said, well, how many do you think we'll do? And he said, I reckon we can do about 10. I was like, fuck off, you're having a laugh. And then Greg had taken a selfie, and it had went online, and it just went viral immediately. It was on all the newspaper sites and all that kind of thing. And by the time Paul and I sat down in the pub, everybody was going insane, and both our phones were red hot. And that was the Wednesday. The tickets didn't officially go on sale the Friday, and there was a meltdown in computers and all that. It broke the internet. And then by the Saturday, journalists were phoning me up and saying, I think at one point a guy was talking to me and he said, how do you feel you're now at 12? And I was like, fuck. And he went, no, hold on, 16. And I was just like, geez, this is crazy. And one of the nicest things was a wee woman just sent a tweet just saying, now do you see how much we missed you? And that was really, especially the first time. The first time was really emotional, actually. When you went out there, I mean, I opened the show on my own every night, which was a nice laxative. But at the end of the night, when you got those standing ovations and you honestly, it sounds really corny, but it's true. But you really could feel the love. It was it was quite extraordinary. Mind blowing, and I think it was for even people down south. No, like Matthew Wright's a bit of a fan, and he came up to see it and all that, and he said it's unbelievable. People can't get their head round still getting the success of it. That if you broke it down, percentage of population, how many people watch it or come to see it, he said it's a phenomenon, but people don't quite realise that.
How does the still game translate down in England or even further afield like American stuff like that?
Well, it's weird, because now it's on Netflix and stuff. And surprisingly, I've had people from all over the world. People have come up to me in the States, Paris. I was through at the Edinburgh Festival, and this girl came up to me and just started going, blah, yabbering away. And I thought, I didn't understand what her language was then. I didn't know what she was trying to say. I thought somebody nicked her purse or something. And the guy came running over and said, I'm so sorry. She's from Brazil, and she's a huge fan of Still Game. and she said, yeah, my mum loves it. And then she kind of got herself together and she managed to say a few words, and she was like, Cheerio, hello, 2 pints, you prick.
You were saying that at the start. We're like, I was like, how long do you think it was before someone says 2 pints, you prick in the comments? And so it's a common one. Is that the catchphrase?
Pretty much. You get it everywhere, all over the world. I've had it. There was a morning I was on a train. I've had it, everywhere. But I was on a train one morning in London, and a wee guy kept looking at me, had a wee pencil moustache and a wee hat on. And he said, he looked at me and then went, excuse me? Uh-huh. Are you Boaby? Sorry? Are you Boaby? Boaby? Oui, Boaby, from the Still Game. I am French. My wife, she's Scottish. I learned my English from the Still Game. How you say 2 pints, you prick? And I had it in Barbados. I was doing a show in Barbados, and I was standing getting a drink at the bar. Happier, and I'm thinking, wow, Barbados, this is amazing. And it's like a bounty advert. Never thought I'd ever be here, and taking it all in, thinking, my God, And I ordered this drink, and the woman said, what can I get you? I said, and she said, why don't you try a daiquiri? And I'm like, I'll try a daiquiri. And so I ordered this coconut daiquiri. I think, why not? And just as I order it, I just hear, 2 pints, you prick. Even the other side of the world, I'm getting called a prick. Smashing, great. Bubble was burst. So,
what show were you doing in Barbados?
We're doing a show, Casablanca.
Oh yeah, the Casablanca show, of course. That it was a.
Did on and off.
I've heard good things at the Fringe. Went well.
We did it. Originally, it was part of Play Pine a Pine up at the Oran Moor. Written by Monarch. So it's the movie of Casablanca, but just with 3 actors, and the whole thing broken down into about 55 minutes, and we tell the whole film just with the 3 of us, also putting in wee facts about how the film was made, so it's a kind of loving homage to the film, but we kind of make a virtue, pardon me, of 3 arseholes. Trying to do a full production of the movie of Casablanca, which is an insane idea in itself. So that's part of the joy of it. But people seem to really love it, and I love it. It's great to do. I'm really proud of it, and it's really nice. I played Humphrey Bogart and that kind of thing.
Well, that's a dream come true stuff, man.
Well, we're similar in that we both have faces like a bag of spanners. So.
Yeah, so it's just the buzz of doing this stuff live must be incredible, man. I mean, I was actually, I went out with my brother, my sister, my cousin, and my dad. We took my dad to it, and he absolutely loved it, man. He's still ranting it, he's still loving it. In fact, actually, you actually gave my dad a message, because I was actually one of the first times I met you. I was like, my dad's a massive fan. Do you want to give him a message? He wasn't doing very well, and he loved it. I think you just said something like, he went, what does he do? And I went, he's retired, doesn't really do much, he's not well. And you're like, happy birthday, Rab. And you, wait a minute. every day's your birthday, you lazy bastard. But he was made up for it. In fact, do you know what? He's he can't get out the house, so I'm going to send him this. I'll send him this show on DVD. So if you want to give him a wee shout out, that'd be great, man.
All right, Rob, how you doing? You've got even more excuse to be a lazy bastard, there you? Sitting in your fat arse all day long now, aren't you? Eh? Oh, well, I watch now. Maybe get the pointless ones. There we are now. Good luck to you, Rob.
Amazing,
You're
mate.
just having fucking wine in your cornflakes, and all that.
We've got loads of comments coming in, man. So I'm going to get a couple. Kenny saying, so true, change the curtains once we get independence. Kev White says the fuck was coined in Scotland as ours. And this is actually, it's supposedly a real thing. It was found last year that fuck, the first evidence of the word fuck was in the 15th century, apparently by one of the flighters. Fuckleroy. What was it was, do you know about the flighting? So that was like, it was kind of like a very early battle rap thing where Scottish people would shout, so they would basically shout abuse each other. Rather than have a fight, they would just challenge people to a kind of a verbal duel kind of thing. And they think that that's technically the first ever battle rap. And that's apparently where the word fuck was first coined.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You know.
So people that say Scottish people shouldn't rap, fuck off.
Fuck off.
Fuck off. Mary Ram says, fab show, thoroughly enjoying this. I'm going to skip that. Going Underground, episode 867. I don't know what that. Someone saying, I don't know what that was. What the Going Underground is. Dallas return for still game.
Dallas returns for still,
I don't know. Amelia Jane's in the house. I don't know if you know Amelia Baylor, great comedian. She was on the show last week.
Oh yeah. Oh, she's fantastic. If that's the I'm thinking,
yeah,
she's amazing actually.
She's very good.
The Drag Opticon a few months back, and she was. Oh, I love her. Yeah. She's great.
Apparently, we might be even getting. I think she's doing a jingle for us, so I'm looking forward to hearing that.
Oh, her jingles and her song.
That's the vibe. Shouts to Amelia.
That's right. What's the vibe? That's the vibe.
She's got a podcast called Funny Talk. If anyone's interested in checking out Amelia, it's
cool.
Funny Talk, and she throws a jingle in every 2 minutes based on what you say. It's good. Check it out. So Stuart Westwood says, "What about still game the Flat Earthers?"
What about it? Well, make a show about still Jack and Victor are Flat Earthers. That's not going to last an episode, mate. Come on now.
They should just make about. They should make a series just about Boaby growing up. That would be brilliant.
Boaby growing up. I think he's already grown. There's not a lot of life left in Boaby. Young Boaby. I know people have come up with different ideas of that. I mean, one of them, it'll never happen, unfortunately, because the boys own the characters and all that. But because it was like, where would Boaby go now? And there was some nice ideas of like, if Boaby went abroad and opened a bar in Spain or something like that, how he would cope, which might be a laugh. But unfortunately, it's not up to me. So yeah, and now that my mullet's retired and now lives in a wee guinea pig farm in Peru. Am I getting awfully dark? Should I put a light on?
It has got a wee bit dark, mate. It has got a bit dark, but it's dark times, mate. It's dark times. Oh, that's good. Oh, I like that, man. It's like every good documentary, the wee bookshelf behind you. What you got there? What you got? Anything? Would you recommend any of them?
Mainly music books. A lot of Bowie, The Clash, Nick Cave.
Let's go back to the music thing, mate, because I know you're a massive music fan, and I remember, I think twice now, I've shared the stage with you, sort of, because you were hosting the Barrowlands gig when you introduced the Jackal Trades gig, and you also introduced the Gyro Babies gig at the Barrowlands, and then at the end you collected the David Bowie Hall of Fame, man. Tell us a bit about that. That's incredible.
Yeah, it was kind of insane. Well, it's amazing guy Billy Coyle, who works at the Barrowlands and also works at Hydro.
Yep, shout outs to Billy Coyle.
Billy's a legend, he truly is, and has worked with them all, really. And Billy kind of set up
the Barland Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So it was basically people that they thought they wanted to give an award to, people that they thought had treated them well and with respect, and that the crew also respected. Pardon me. And Bowie was one of them. So they'd got in touch with Bowie's people, who said, yeah, of course, we'd love to accept this, but just not just now. Not realizing, what what was going on and how seriously ill he was. And I've been a massive Bowie fan all my life, hence my black star. So Billy phoned me up out of the blue, knowing that I was kind of involved with the Mustards quite a bit in the Yellow movement, and said, would I be willing to accept the induction of Bowie into the Barland Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, which I was just blown away, because it wasn't that long after he'd passed. And to be honest, I was still pretty upset. It hit me quite hard. And he said, only if you want and you think you can do it, And I thought, well, yeah, I mean, it's why me? It's just that's a massive honour. But yeah, so it was extraordinary. And from that, bizarrely, stop me if this gets boring, because I turn into a bit of Bowie bore. But from that, it led to lots of other weird things. So it was things like, I'm sitting with Bowie's award in my house, thinking, this is fucking weird. I've got David Bowie's award now. I shouldn't really have this. So the girl I was going out at the time, we're lying in bed one morning. She starts talking to me about a girlfriend of hers who's a singer-songwriter in Texas. And she's telling me all about her, and then she tells me how she's into this guy, Errol. And I went, Errol? It's no Errol Slick by some chance, is it? And she said, who's that? And I knew she was fucking chucked after that. But anyway, Errol Slick was Bowie's guitarist on and off for 40-odd years. This is where it gets kind of boring about this stuff, because I do really know my stuff about him. So I was like, no way. And I thought, I knew Errol Slick was coming to Glasgow to do a gig playing the whole of Bowie's Station album. And I thought, that's where the award should go. He's Foot Soldier, one of his right-hand men. So she got in touch with her pal, who got in touch with Errol Slick, and Errol Slick got in touch with me. I wet my pants. Oh, it's Errol Slick. Send me an email. So we organised all that. I passed on the award to Errol Slick. Through that, I got to know his production manager and stuff. And his production manager got in touch with me and said, what was it? It was around about the time where we were about to do Still Game, 2016 Still Game. And they were putting on a huge big concert that would have been the anniversary of Bowie's death, which would have been his 70th birthday, that Gary Oldman was doing and various other people in Brixton Academy. And this guy, Tom, got in touch with me, lovely Tom Wilcox, and said, are you going? I'm like, no, tickets are like gold dust and all that. Plus, I'm working, I'm doing Still Game. So he got in touch with me privately and he said, well, I can sort out half that problem. I've got a place you can stay and I can definitely get you in the gig. Why don't you come down? And I was like, and the first day of rehearsals in Still Game, I went up to the director and how you doing? He's like, great, you excited? I'm like, aye, I'm excited. Anyway, tell you what, there's any chance I could get away early on Friday? And I told him what it was, and good on him. He said, look, this means more to you than anything. Of course you can. Just make sure you're back by Monday lunchtime. And I went down, and I can't tell you everything that happened, but it was amazing, especially going in the sun. Sorry, neighbours waving at me. There's a very good time was had. And but I got down there, and it was extraordinary that first night. I met Susie Ronson, who was Mick Ronson, Bowie's first guitarist at Spiders from Mars. Met her, was a lovely woman. Then we went round to this.
Hold on. I need to get the name drop bit up for this. we have it every episode, mate. We have it every episode. We got a wee bit of name drop.
Susie Ronson. Boom. Then Errol Slick was it, and I met every member of his band that night. As we sat and watched this final documentary about him, and everybody was in tears, and so it was incredible. And then the next day, I met like Mick Ronson's daughter, and I met Kevin Armstrong, who was his musical director at Live Aid, and then since then, I think it was Mike Garson, who was his pianist on and off for 40 years when he did the Aladdin Sane album. That's Mike Garson, does all the kind of crazy wild piano. Get introduced to Mike and asked to do backing vocals. So next time I'm on stage with Mike Garson. And so one thing just led to another, and it's been mind-blowing. It's that side of stuff was really amazing. And kind of the irony being that the only reason it's kind of happened is that he passed away. You know, it's as close as I'll ever get to him, but only because he passed, sadly, you know. But I quite amazing now. So when any of them are in town, they kind of get in touch and stuff, which is
That's amazing, mate. How did it feel because obviously the hydro? How big's the hydro attendance wise?
It can hold up to 13,000, but I don't think anybody's quite done that. I think they did it for what's his face, Lewis Capaldi.
Yeah,
but normally it holds. We were doing about 10 to 11 just for sight lines, so you could see the stage properly and what have you. So we were doing 10 to 11,000.
And then you've got the Barrowlands, which I think the night that you won, you didn't win his award. You collected it on his behalf. Yeah. That's 2,000 people at the Barrowlands. Yeah. How does that compare, sort of thing?
Well, I shouldn't really say that. It's kind of odd. They're completely different things, you know. I mean, of course, the Hydra is amazing, and particularly the first time when we did it, because as I say, I used to open that show, so I came on first, and there was a big curtain. They showed a wee short film, everybody being made up, which finished with me sitting down as Boaby and kind of looking at myself getting ready, and they just put a dish towel on me, and I got up like that's all you have to do for Boaby. So it was like fine, and you heard the laughter, and it was like an animal. It was just like, you could see the curtain moving. And then the music started and a countdown and then an explosion and the curtain fell and I'm just standing cleaning a glass. And I can't acknowledge anybody or let the audience in or anything. And I was shitting myself. There was one girl underneath the bar who had to catch a bottle at one point, and she's chatting to me all the time, kind of going, so what you doing? What did you do last night? You got any plans? You're going to have anything? Thinking, shut the fuck up. I've got to speak for about 5 to 10 minutes here on my own. I'm just desperately trying to remember the line. And
you're doing it twice a day, that scenario, is it? Because you're doing the matinee in the afternoon.
Yeah. Yeah, it was quite exhausting. I mean, because good on the boys. A lot of people, I think, when they do kind of big stadium shows now, tend to do kind of greatest hits things or that sort of thing. The boys always did a completely new, fresh kind of show and put everything into it, all singing, all dancing show, you know. But as it was brilliant. But what I did find, to be honest, if I'm brutally honest about it, was by about the second day, I remember slowly acting my arse off and then slowly trying to peek out at the stadium and thinking, Jesus, look at the size of this. People are like ants and what have you. And then I look and I'm thinking, keep acting, don't let anybody see you're looking. And then I looked in, there's people even in the front door, and you realise nobody's looking at you. They're all like that. They're all just looking up at the screen. So unless a camera was on you, nobody's really looking at what you're doing on stage. So that was very odd, in a perverse kind of way. I personally, I thought it was too big. I prefer intimacy. I'd have preferred to done it in a theatre for a longer time. But somebody worked out that if we did do it in a theatre, if we did it in the Kings or something, we'd have had to have done it for about 5 years to fit in however many people it is we've played tonight.
And it's you probably hit a point where you're like, obviously it probably takes a few days or maybe a week, say, to get used to your script, and you probably hit this nice point where you're still getting the adrenaline rush, but you feel like you know what you're doing. But I reckon if you would do that too often, eventually it would surely just get a bit boring or a bit annoying or just repetitive.
And also, again, because of the situation at the Hydro, there was a lot of mucking because you weren't on camera a lot. So if nobody's looking at you, we were getting up to all sorts, having a right good laugh. So, which was great. But to answer your original question, I suppose it's far more nerve-wracking doing something like the Play Pie in a Pint, where you're in front of maybe 200 people, or the Barland, because the Barland is so important to me. You know, it's my favourite venue in Glasgow, possibly the world, and I adore that place. And I grew up there. You know, I've lost count the number of bands I've seen there. Bowie as well, actually, at Barland. The Cramps, Simple Minds. You know, anybody and everybody. You know, so just to walk on that stage is fantastic. But to walk on that stage and collect something that was destined for your ultimate hero was mind blowing, you know. So nothing comes close to that actually. Hydro or nothing, I'm afraid, touches that night. It was very special, and of course it was very special because of the night it was. You know, the Yellow Movement and the Mustards, yourselves, everybody. It was a really special night that night.
It was, mate. It was. The Barrowlands is always special, but I think.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got to remember that 4 weeks before that, I think we'd sold 150 tickets. So we and John started bamming each other up in the videos, and then we started to gain a bit of traction. And to actually, so all the stress of it, like, well, are we actually going? Is this going to be okay? And then it sold out, and what a
build it, and they shall come.
Yeah, well, sometimes they don't know. See that's not actually true. Build it and they will come. Sometimes you build it and cunts don't care. So, because that's happened as well. That's also happened. But yeah, that was a great night, man. And I've got also shout outs to the Barrowlands. David Blair's tuned in as well. All the Billy Coyle and all the Barrowlands stuff. We've got Craig Hendry says, "This has made my day. Earlier today, got a notification. Still game hits Netflix Poland on Wednesday. Best quarantine Saturday yet. Gives a shout out for Boaby the Barman." This is Craig Hendry. He's at one of the patrons that supports the show, and he's living over in Poland.
How you doing? Thanks for supporting the show. I think I heard rumours about this. Is it Series 8 is going on Netflix now? I don't know if they're putting the last one, Series 9, on yet, but I believe Series 8's going up. So slowly but surely.
And Poland, do you know what I mean? I'd imagine Poland would be quite a good market for still games.
Well, it's a bit like Craig Lang.
Also, Craig was one of the promoters or whatever. He's a promoter, but he was going to help us put on some gigs because we were booking a European tour for August, but obviously, like everything, it's cancelled. Do you know? It's cancelled. But
Christmas is cancelled. Everything's cancelled. I'm going to be doing pan.
Tom Hanks is cancelled. Even Tom Hanks is cancelled. It's fucking. We've got Joe McCann's asking.
There's a snake in my boot. Tom would say it's Woody.
Is El Dorado? Are you on the El Dorado?
Am I on the El Dorado?
Joe McCann wants to know if you're on the El Dorado. Is that El Dorado?
No, but funnily enough, I took a picture just the other day. I was taking my dog out for a walk up Rock Hill Park, and I didn't know you could still get LD. I hadn't seen it for so long, and I saw this wee bottle, and I thought, fucking hell, you can still buy electric soup. What a beautiful thing. But no. Do you know the other one? I'm talking about old-fashioned drinks. I'm trying to remember a story in it. That Lanlick. Anybody remember Lanlick?
Nah, I don't. Does anyone remember Lanlick?
But bizarre old drink, right? Because I just came back. A friend of mine was talking about once. We were just talking about terrible chat up lines and horrible experiences and all that. And he remembers being at a party one night, and everybody was leathered. And he crashed out on the couch, and his pal was in the back of the couch, getting off with a lassie. And it's no Lanlick actually, it's Bertola Cream, which was a kind of sherry when I was a kid. And he this is terrible, but he overheard him saying to this poor lassie, saying, "Oh, come on, drop the vigilantes, you've had half my Bertola Cream." Drop the vigilantes, drop your panties, drop your vigilantes, you've had half my Bertola Cream. Like, you silver-tongued fox, you. But sorry, that was apropos of nothing. But,
Corrine remembers Lanny.
Oh, excellent. Old Lanny, electric soup. Giza Suka, that electric soup. All right. Yeah,
I got Lanny red wine, of course.
What's that? Lanny red wine, of course. Oh, hello. Oh, you've someone with taste there.
Mary your arms, heard of it?
A discerning palate.
Kenny Hugh, he's heard of it.
Good. Oh, I just thought they'd stop selling it until I saw it the other day. And then, it's like anything, it's like magpies. After I saw that, next time, there's another bottle. Oh, there's another bottle. Oh, good. But mind you, I'm taking the dug up Rock Hill Park. What do you expect? Don't I?
Jamie Kira says that Yellowland gig was Gyroland. I think you'll find it was called, Jamie. Favourite night ever.
Ooh, controversial.
It's Gyroland, not Yellowland. And Laura Jane says, absolutely loving the show tonight. Thank you, Mark and Gavin. Thank you, Laura Jane, for tuning in.
Thanks, Laura Jane.
Mary Phillips says, I'm a big fan of Bowie, also massive fan of Saw Doctors, who are also in the Hall of Fame at the Barras. Try and get them on if you can. I don't have a contact.
Davey Blair, if you're listening. Saw Doctors have played the Barras a lot, though. I think they play the Barland fairly regularly, Saw Doctors, actually. Or if you mean the Hall of Fame, I would be surprised if they've actually not been inducted already. I would imagine their name's certainly up there. But nothing to do with me. Don't fucking come looking for me now. Give me a hiding. Colin Syme's got a great idea about how... I haven't thought of that. Boaby as an expat barman in Benetton would be brilliant. A wee spin-off show. There was this chat, what would ever happen to him? We thought, if he tried to open a pub somewhere in Spain or something, I fancy these chances cutting about. He'd probably fit in better with his mullet. Cutting about with jewellery on like that. All right, fancy a wee half and a half. Scud it into me on bonkers. Oh, I think we're going to get the Dallas now. I get it. The Dallas reference, sorry, because, remember in Dallas, the guy came out the shower? Oh, the Boaby coming out the shower thing. Yeah. I get you. No, I understand. This is as good as still game. Thanks, Mark and Gavin. God, obviously that man's firmly in the grip of mental illness. Shouts to DJ Epic, man. He's a brilliant producer and DJ and rapper. Isa wakes up and finds Boaby in the shower. Last season, all a dream, Dallas style. I have to be honest, after that beer, I read that slightly wrong there. I thought Isa wakes up in the shower and finds out she's got a Boaby. But well, that's a bit of a spin on it. Alan McVicker says, where's Boaby? Who's Boaby? Everyone's Boaby. Nice to see you, big shagger. Bless you. Dave McGowan's actually correcting me here. It was historical records of flighting in Scotland from the 13th century. Although I think the word fuck appeared in the 15th century. Correct me if I'm wrong. Shouts to Barry. Yeah, thanks, David. Never thought I'd be fucking talking like this on Saturday night. Barry's got a question, an important one at that. What is the best mad advert you've ever seen that sticks in your memory, Gavin? Best mad advert? I don't know. Funnily enough, I don't know if that's pertaining to something that was on last night. There was a show that I was in that was on BBC Scotland last night, but it's shameless self-promotion. And they're showing another episode Monday night called Selling Scotland. And it's all about mad adverts or how we looked at ourselves over the years through advertising. Some of them are amazing. Some of them I'd never seen before as well. Some of them are fair outside Scotland that Sean Connery did and Billy Connolly did and stuff like that. Some of them are crazy. Or how the Americans saw us, like stuff for porridge oats where there's big American blokes carrying, 6 wains in their arms and all that. Hi there, I'm Scottish. But my own experience is I've done a couple ads. And one of the wildest I ever did was I did an ad, 20 more years ago for Miller Lite in New York. And the setup was, and I had to audition for it, which was kind of weird as well, and then got it. But it was me sitting in a peep show and I put the money in and the wee kind of slot, comes up in this peep show and I'm like, kind of ready and waiting with anticipation. And then this girl comes out, and I'm like, disappointed. And she pulls out the bottle of beer. And I'm like, oh, hello. And then from there on, and she just teases me with the beer, and is pulling the label off and stuff and all this kind of thing. And it's just an excuse for me to pull faces. Like, and that was quite mad. And it was banned in a lot of channels in the States. But they actually showed it during Super Bowl one year, bizarrely, which was quite mental. But that was quite. What did you read in the show last night? He did a few funny adverts. Have you ever crossed paths with Hugh before? Who's that? Hugh? Oh yeah, No seen him for a while. He's a lovely man. Yeah, he's over in China now, isn't he?
Yeah, man. Well, he's just came back for China because of the whole. You might have heard there's a wee bit of a bug floating about.
What was that?
So he's actually, I think he's in Butte. He said he was in Butte last night. So
Oh, really?
He's back in Scotland for a while.
Oh, brilliant. He's a lovely guy. Trying to think. We used to see a lot of each other probably in the 80s and all that. I think we were that kind of, different generations who kind of swirl about the same sort of social circles. And Hugh was about then, a lot of gigs. And he tried stand up for a wee while as well. I think I went to see him. And various things. We used to bump into each other a lot.
Do you ever do stand up yourself, man?
No, I never ever have. I think when I was young, I fancied it. Or lots of people have said over the years, you should try it, you should do it. But it's one thing to talk a lot of shite or sit in a pub and make people laugh or whatever, which is a nervous defensive thing. I think it's another to have a start, a middle, and an end. And I really admire stand-ups. Actually, it's a really sort of brave, lonely old job. And for all that, I have lots of friends who are stand-ups. It can be brutal. It's a bit like leprosy sometimes, because if you go up there and you die in your arse, but people aren't necessarily very supportive when you come off. It's almost like, oh, I don't want to get caught with that shite. So I used to do a thing years ago called Velvet Cabaret, which then went on to become a sketch show TV series called Velvet Soup.
Yep.
And that was 4 of us. And we it was a different script every week. And we'd go up in front of a live audience, and it was all untried, untested stuff. And that was kind of closest to stand-up, really. But the great thing about that was, and it happened a few times, we died in our arses. But at least you had the 40s, you could turn to each and go, fucking hell, and have a pint and kind of commiserate and support each other and all that.
I suppose it's the same as like...
When Robin Williams passed away,
You've met Robin Williams, haven't you? Is that true?
Yeah, he was a mate. We did a movie in 94, or maybe a bit earlier. A thing called Being Human, a Belfast Size movie. And we met on that, and he got on brilliantly with everybody, not just me. There was about 14 of us, kind of glorified extras, really, but they wanted actors because we had to improvise a bit and stuff. And we kind of clicked. And then I went back up to visit him during filming. And then at one point I went over the States. In fact, it's the book that he gave us just behind us, actually. I visited him a couple of times, and when he was over in Scotland, it would be going to Billy Connolly's place, Ardna Craig. He would Candy Craig, is it? He would get invited up there a couple of times, but I didn't go because I was just far too intimidated, to be honest. Because it was all these, Steve Martin and Eric Idle and all these amazing people. I just thought I'd be sitting there going, "Oh, I can't help what do you say?" in that company. But no, he was a lovely man. He was a brilliant man. What was the point in that? What was I talking about just for that? I was going to go into that.
Well,
it's gone.
Well, the Robin Williams, man, I think I heard you talking in a podcast about him before, and I was just like that. I mean, Robin Williams is such a talent, man, and he just seemed like a sound guy. So it's really nice to hear that he was actually sound in real life.
He was an extraordinary man. He was just, there's the funny, amazing guy. And I don't mean this in a negative way or dismisses genius, but like any funny people, a lot of the time he kind of, he came round on himself a lot. And you can hear that if you watch enough of him on YouTube or things or in interviews, you can hear he'll fall back in similar routines or gags or, which I think people naturally do a lot of the time, which makes him even more human, I think. Although he was brilliant at riffing and improvising, although very difficult to play because you're playing with the best, and he was like a steamroller, I think I only beat him once when we were having a carry-on. He was Keith Richards and I was Mick Jagger, and I managed to last top him with a gag at one point, and I was like, fucking yes. But yeah, no, he was so sensitive. It was amazing. Whatever situation he was at, he really seemed to have these amazing kind of sensors, could pick up on people and would look after people. And, all these things that came out once he sadly took his life, that whenever he did. A lot of the people who worked for him, were ex-addicts, or he knew from darker times who he employed. Or if he rolled into town with a movie, he sent out, part of the deal in his contract, he would send out people so that there was various homeless or unemployed people were brought on into the film as extras and things. I've seen him, things I can't really talk about, but I've seen him do things for people, and people that I've worked with and that, who, all above and out the call of duty that he did to help them out, or do personal things for people, and just all strictly in the QT. Just a really genuinely generous, loving, kind, beautiful human being. He was a lovely man, and a huge loss. I miss him terribly, as I think everybody does.
Yeah, absolutely, man. It's I listened to the podcast. I think I listened to a wee bit of the Jinkies podcast with you last night, and
so you're breaking up. You're back.
Yeah, I was listening to the Jinkies podcast. Can you hear me okay, man?
Your mic's making a funny.
Is that my mic?
Hi, it's making a funny kind of.
Is that me? Can anyone else? I can hear there's a bad bit of backfeed. Is that coming from my direction?
I think so.
Hold on, let me try this. Hold on. Okay. Gavin, hopefully we'll just come back on in a minute. Just thank you to everyone for tuning in. This is You Call That Radio. We are here every night at 7 o'clock. Tonight we've got Gavin Mitchell. Tomorrow we've got Mog. Monday we've got Gordy Duncan Jr. Tuesday we've got Kevin Goudet. Wednesday we've got Bomb Scare, plus Joe Dark's new project, Joe Jive and the Beehive 5. Will be on after that, the after party for Bomb Scare. And then on Thursday, we've got Iron Bars, which we were talking a wee bit about earlier on, about flighting in Scotland inventing the word fuck. So it's kind of like a wee bit like that. You can tune in to that on Thursday night. The hashtag is YCTV Abbas. I don't know if Gavin's coming back or not. I'll maybe read a couple of comments out. And hopefully Gavin does come back on and maybe answer a few more questions. If you've enjoyed the show tonight, you can shout outs to Murphamish. Shout outs to David McGowran as well for helping us do this tonight. Seth, if you want to become a patron and join the Mince and Tatties crew that support the show, it's $3 a month, so it's about £2.50. Go to patreon.com/You Call That Radio, and you'll be entered into the big mad raffle that we're doing very, very soon. And you can do one-off donations on PayPal as well. And shout outs to Mark, Leanne, Gordon, Alan, Claire, Danny, Cindy, Mary, Layla, Thomas, and Sandra. We're up to 110 patrons now. You can follow us on Twitch if you don't already. That's Twitch is usually a bit better to quality to watch the shows. So that's twitch.com/You Call That Radio. You can also get us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and stuff. And just shout outs to everyone who's been supporting the show. We've been here every night since the lockdown began. So that's about 20 odd days. I don't know. I've not been counting. But it's been great to connect with you all every night. And let's just see what the comments are saying here. John McMuster said, we'd love to hear the recording of you and Robin Williams doing impersonations, Gav. Also, your Sean Connery story is brilliant. Well, Gav, if you can hear us, just click the link again and hopefully we can get that Sean Connery story. There we go. Joe McCann says, brilliant show, Mark. Gavin has some amazing stories. We go. Lou Rogerson said, my hubby used to work in the hurdy-gurdy in Townhead. We often used to see still game being filmed round the back of it at Navid's. And we found out last night that Navid used to play keyboards for Hugh Reid. Small world. Amanda Docherty says, he's not coming back, lol. He's away to walk Bob. It looks like it. It does look like it, doesn't it? So, how would you call it a day? We'll see you tomorrow It's 7 o'clock for Mog. I don't know if you know who Mog is, but he's one of the greatest lyricists Scotland's ever produced, an amazing live performer. So come back tomorrow for that. We've got Gordie Duncan Jr. on Monday. So you might know him as the drummer for the Gyros, an amazing singer-songwriter in his own right. And we've also got Kevin P. Day on Tuesday night. And we have Bomb Scare on Wednesday night. So tune in. We're here every night at 7 o'clock. Thank you to everyone. Oh, hold on. He's back. He's back. It looks like Gavin. I was just about to cut off there, but I think he's here.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Gavin, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you perfectly, man. I can't see you,
I think
but I can definitely hear
my
you.
phone was dying there. It's in 1%, so I went on my iPad, but the problem I have is that I have to upgrade this. I can't get visuals, but I can get sound.
Well, do you know what? What we'll do is, because we've got the voice, we'll wrap it up with you. While you were off the air, John McMustard said you've got a brilliant Sean Connery story. So why don't we just tell us the Sean Connery story and then we'll wrap it up.
Oh, you dirty bastard. I don't think I could tell that story.
Nah.
It could get us all shut down, mate.
Yeah. Okay.
But I will tell you sometime privately. But I don't think it's wise.
Well, Gavin, we'll leave it at that then, mate. And thank you very much for coming on the show today.
Oh, you're welcome. Sorry it went wrong there at the end.
Oh, it was my fault at the start, so we'll call it a draw, mate. It's all good.
But no, pleasure to see you and talk to you. I hope that was all right. I didn't bore the arse off everybody. Thanks for
mate.
the questions and stuff.
You were absolutely brilliant, mate. Thank you very much. And all the best. And we're walking the dog, because I suppose that's all you're really doing now, isn't it? Walking the dog.
Pretty much. I'd be pretty lost if it wasn't for the wee man. He's great, gives me a routine and gets me up and about. And at least it's somebody to cuddle. Do you know what I mean? Apart from that, my only other advice to get through this is to keep healthy is masturbation, of course. It's very good for the white blood cells and the immunity system, apparently. So you heard it here first. Stay safe, masturbate, keep well. Thank you very much, Gavin. All the best, mate. Take it easy, man. See ya.
Strange mood of our time.
You call that radio?